Hey, good people. It's Coach Jamie, your happiness coach. I am back with another lifestyle success session. This time I'm going to be joined with special guest Kenya Carr, and we're going to be talking about courageous confidence. And before I welcome her into the room, let me just do a few my piece of happy intros and announcements. Okay, we have a lot of stuff going on here. If you have not already purchased your copy of my piece of happy, a self-love journey to happiness, purpose, and lifestyle success, get your hands on the paperback or ebook. It's available Nookbook, Kindle. So definitely check that out. Great gift for the holidays. It's a great gift in general. So definitely check that out. Check out yesterday's podcast. If you missed it, I actually did an excerpt out of chapter 5. So stay connected, subscribe, follow me if you're not already, follow our guest if you're not already, and I'm going to welcome her into the room, and let's get into it. Let's see here. And come on in, Kenya. Stay tuned if you are. Hey,
good evening.
good evening. Stay connected because we are going to do a giveaway at the end. As always, sharing is caring. So definitely hang out with us. We will not keep you too long. If you are watching the replay, hashtag replay and go follow Kenya. All right. Hey, thank you
How
for
are
joining.
you?
Hey, Felicia. Who else? Yes. All right. So Kenya, how was your day today?
It was calming, and then it got crazy towards the end.
Okay.
But I'm here. That's all that
But I
matters.
was going to say, and you still showed up.
Yeah, of course. You always got to show up, no matter what. No
Nice.
matter what. Never let them see you sweat.
Yes, right. Right.
Yeah.
Yes. So thank you so much for joining me in this space and being willing to share as always. So it's always a pleasure to
Absolutely.
share the room with you. And so we are talking about something that we both have talked about before, and that is confidence. And so not just confidence in this case, but courageous confidence. And I want to get your take on that. I want to jump right in with what does that mean to you?
That's a good question, because you got the two C's. So there's always a question, what comes first, courage or confidence, right?
Yeah.
That's been a topic. So the way I think about it is confidence comes from going through different experiences, living different experiences, and after you live them, going back and reflecting on them and recognizing in yourself that you actually did those things.
Yes.
Right? And
Right.
so in order to do them, you got to step out on faith, if you will, right? So you got to have courage to actually say yes, even though you don't know how you're going to do it. That's the huge thing. It's like, just say yes, and the rest, you'll figure it out later. But first is saying yes and being committed to it. So if you're saying yes to all of those experiences, that takes courage, and you build upon that courage. And when you look back in the rearview mirror, which we don't like to say look back, but you do need to look back so you can see how far you've come. But to look back and say, I did that. Yes. Now you're building confidence in yourself, because if you did the last thing, you can do the next thing, because you've been doing that. So sometimes they say, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? I think it takes courage to say yes to anything you decide to do in life. So that's one. I agree. And then over time, having said yes, you build up more confidence to keep going.
Right. And doing that muscle.
Yes. That muscle. Yes. Absolutely. Keep flexing that muscle.
Yes. Absolutely. I love that. And I definitely, that's why I tend to use those together, the courageous confidence, because when like I started my blog, or, you start anything and you'll hear that people are like, oh, I could never do that. It's simple. Like when I shaved my head, it's like, oh, I could never do that. That takes so much confidence. I'm like, I don't know if it was a confidence. That does come, but like you said, I do it even when I'm questioning, like, is this gonna, like, what, but it's like, I'm gonna go for it, right? So that's that courage part. Yeah. And you're an author. life coach. I need to back up because I usually have my guests introduce themselves because I always say nobody can celebrate you like you. So you'll do the best job. I want you to give a formal introduction, if you will.
Sure. So, Kenya Carr, I am the proud mother of 2 boys. That's first and foremost. I am an author, I'm a life coach, and I'm also a motivational speaker. So those are all of my passions and my heart, meaning my children and everything I do. So I've been coaching for probably more than 20 years. When you include my day job as a professional, I'm a human capital consultant. I've been in HR for about 22 years now. And a lot of what I do is coaching at the management level, as well as just employees that are mid-level in their career. So I'm coaching every day. And then August was 3 years ago that I decided to start my own life coaching practice. So I'm a health coach, I'm a career coach, I'm a life coach in general. So my focus is coaching to the whole person. And so it's a passion too. It's my heart. I believe in serving. And so I do it with love and with confidence. And sometimes people they just need that push. You know, I know I need it. I know I need it. So that's a little bit about me.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely.
So I had a couple of questions so that because, you know, I'm like, we get us so far off track. So to stay on task. Yes, to stay on task. So it was either, I think it was when I joined you, either way, because we've been but we talked about confidence before. And I remember that you went back to childhood, that you like gained your confidence early on in finding your voice. Could you share a little bit about that?
I'm trying to think at what point that was. It was so much. I'm like, okay, when did it actually start? Let's see. I would say, honestly, finding my voice started with my family, with particularly my father. He and I didn't have a great relationship growing up. And so he actually built this fire in me, which is, you know, the name of my book's called Battling the Flames. So I have to tame a lot of flames inside of me. Oh, thank you. Yes. I have one right here too.
Yeah.
And I have yours too. yes, I do. And so, you know, honestly, things that were going on in my life at a young age, I was not happy about. And I actually learned to use my voice because I was the only child on my mother's side. I was around adults all the time. And I was very curious. I still am. And, you know, you model after adults if you want to be like them. We always want to grow up before our time. So I would see what adults were doing, and they were, you know, speaking up, doing their thing.
Right.
And dealing honestly with my dad, and honestly, we had an interesting relationship. I pushed back on him a lot on things that just didn't feel right to me. So I think that's where I actually first found my voice, because I was interacting with an adult much older than me. And I was finding my voice even when things didn't feel right to me, to speak my truth at a very young age. And I don't know if it was just part of my personality, maybe some of it, because my mom wasn't like, you go ahead and you tell him what you think. She didn't. It was that fire in me that developed with right and wrong. So just finding my voice through experiences again, where something inside of me said, you have to speak up. And that's just my personality. That's just who I am. I have to speak up. That being part of confidence is using your voice as well as doing actions, right? They can go together, or they can be separate. So I would say it started there. And I just always had the attitude, I want it, I got it.
Hey.
I want to do something, go do it. I love dance. My mom put me in dance. I love to perform. I wasn't focused that there were people watching me. I started to build confidence even in that, to express myself. That took confidence, and doing that over and over, practice. Yes. I wanted to be a cheerleader. Tried out for cheerleading in college. I couldn't do a back handspring to save my life, but I practiced and practiced and practiced, and I
Right.
made the college squad. And at that year, I was the only Black person on the squad.
Hey now.
Hey
Okay.
now,
And can we
you
talk
want
about
it, you
your
got
flying
it.
planes? Like, it doesn't
Oh,
stop.
yeah, and that too. I want to learn how to fly a plane. So that takes a lot of courageous confidence
Yes.
right there too.
That
Because
most
I mean,
definitely.
yes,
I was like, whoa.
it is. I think when I was married, I suppressed so much of me. At the same time where I was trying to learn who I was young, got married to a person almost 11 years older than me. I'm still finding my way. And then when we separated and I started doing my own thing again, I was like,
never again.
right. Like, there's so much I hadn't experienced in life. So I'm not saying I'm ready to go jump off a cliff, but if someone would have asked me, what do you like to do? I'd be like, I don't know. I've been raising kids for the last 7 years.
Right.
You know? So
Yeah,
now it's like, I'm about to live and live on purpose, live with fear, and courage is about having fear, but still,
doing it.
Past it, still doing it anyway.
Yes. And pushing through. And it's so much, the other side is amazing. Is amazing. So you actually, it was a perfect segue because in your book, this is her book. Stay tuned. Please hang with us because I'm going to be doing a giveaway. But in your book, you talk about, and it's a memoir. You talk about the divorce. Spoiler alert, right? But and I want to talk about how much courageous confidence, if any, it took to get you to the point of like enough is enough.
Yeah, that's a good one. Do we do how much time we have? No, just kidding. I'm gonna keep it short.
Right. Well, they'll get the book to get the
right. They'll get the book. I'll give the Cliff Note version. I had experienced enough things that said it's enough, but there was that, like this, that what's the saying? The something that broke the camel's, the straw that broke the back. So prior to the camel's back being broken, I wanted to leave, but I was afraid. I didn't think I could do it on my own. So that's one. My mindset was, I don't think I can. And it was more about the finances. Oh, I can't raise 2 kids on my own if he's not paying child support or something like that. I couldn't do it. So, and then it was like, well, what about the kids? And they're going to hate me. So these are things we tell ourselves when we're stuck.
Right.
And there was an incident with my son, and that was the straw. And what I did, which I had not done before, is I got out of my head and on the paper.
Yes.
My finances. I never did that before. I was even scared to do that because I didn't want it to tell me that I couldn't.
You had to stay.
Right.
Yeah.
But because I was so triggered, and it was one of those breakdown moments, it forced me into action because I was like, I can't do this anymore. I literally, physically, mentally cannot live anymore. So I wrote it down. Yeah. And when I wrote it down and I saw, oh no, I could do this. I was like, that's it. That was it. That's all it took. I was done.
That gave you the confidence.
That gave me the confidence to know I could do it. And then I put a plan in place and I followed through my plan. I got a financial coach. I saved for 6 months.
Nice.
And I was done. I didn't look back, but I had a plan. But that was it for me. I had something. Sometimes, like they say, that old saying, you have to have a breakdown before you can have a breakthrough. And I had that breakdown. And that was it. And at that point, it was no more fear. It was like, I'm ready. Nothing's in my way. Hell, high water. I'm going to figure it out. I've done this before.
Yes.
So that was it for me. Once I had that realization.
Yes, that you said something, and it really, and I actually shared on TikTok. I didn't share it to Instagram, but now that you said that, I'm gonna share that video because that's what I talked about just today. That getting to that place where this life right now, as I know it, cannot be the rest of my life. Like this cannot be the rest of my life. And literally, I remember telling my sisters, I was like, I'm going to suffocate. I'm going to die if I stay.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
And it's that push, like you said, sometimes that's what it takes. Obviously my goal as a coach is like, don't get there,
Don't
right?
get there.
But if you're there, having that confidence enough, or whatever you have to muster,
Belief,
really, whatever you have to muster up to say, this is it, like something has to change. And creating and being that change, and when I say creating, not that we have to do it by ourselves, whether it's getting a coach, putting into action, this has to change, and I'm going to do something about it. I'm not going to wait for the person to change, for the situation. I'm going to be the change that I need to move forward. So I love that. And congratulations.
I'm
on
so
that.
happy.
Yes, on the freedom. And my disclaimer is always, I'm not an advocate for divorce, but it's my story.
Yes.
And it's my truth. That's what it was for me. That was getting out of that toxic relationship. And the freedom and the confidence, and it's like no going back. The freedom of making the choice for yourself. It's not about leaving the person, but it's that I love myself enough. I'm doing this. This is going to serve me best.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. I'm doing this for me so I can live another day.
Yeah, and you have to be healthy. And when you're in those situations, you're not healthy. And if you're not healthy, how can you help others? Help your children, help your family, help whoever you're serving. It's like that saying, that other saying, pouring from an empty cup. I would say like to say that saying because people get tired of hearing the saying, but it's true. So yeah, I had to leave in order to heal.
Yes.
I couldn't do it anymore. I was thinking, well, I can make it till they go to college. No,
right. You go right. And let me tell you, we have to know divorce is not the end of the world. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Life Chapters Coaching. Look at that. Is the brand.
Exactly.
Yes. So true. And a lot that threw me off, but yes, so true.
I'm glad you saw. All I see is comments on my face. So I'm trying not to look at them because I'm trying to pay attention.
Oh, yes. It'll come back to me what I was going to say, but let me go to the next, because you are a life coach and we talked about that. So if clients, when I initially started, I was calling myself I'm a happiness coach now, right? I was saying confidence coach. And messaging and trying to reach the person that needs you, right? I found that the person that needs confidence is there's something that comes before it, right? So I wasn't reaching anybody with the confidence. So how would a person self-identify if confidence will ultimately get them where they need to be? But what would they self-identify with that they can probably say, okay, wait, maybe that is what I need, some courageous confidence? What would help them to self-identify if confidence really isn't like meaning anything to them right now?
That's a good question.
Does that make sense? You follow?
I think so. So what would
For example, okay, I'll use myself for example, right? Confidence is that courageous confidence is what it took, but it was the fear, right, that I had to identify. It was that self-doubt really is ultimately what I was struggling with. Can I do this?
Right.
Am I going to be enough? I already felt like I'm not enough. So am I going to be able to pull this off? Right. Or am I going to leap out there and end up worse than I am? So maybe it's safer to stay stuck. It was really that self-doubt, that conversation in my head. And you mentioned the mindset, right? That was the issue. I didn't love myself enough. So I had to shift to self-love. And confidence is a byproduct of. So I wanted to know your take on that. Like, what is something someone can self-identify with? The conversation in their head, if you will.
Yeah. Well, it's a loaded question. So I'm trying to think how to best answer it. And I don't know if I'm going to do it justice because I hadn't thought about it that way.
Give us what you got.
I mean, it's going to be unique for each person based on their life experiences. One of the things that I don't know if people even understand the concept, unless you're a life coach or therapist or counselor, is limiting beliefs. we're not taught that. Like, what
Right.
the hell is that?
Right.
But what is going through your head that stops you from moving forward is a limiting belief. But if you're
Yes.
not aware of that, and it doesn't have to be, the language, but just when you go to do something and you don't do it,
Mm-hmm.
are you looking back later and saying, why didn't I do that? And how
Mm-hmm.
many times have you had that experience? I keep coming back to experiences and experiences.
Yeah. Well, that's what make us up. Yeah.
That's what makes us who we become.
Mm-hmm.
Versus who do we want to become, right? Because you can become
There
this
you go.
person, but is
Based
that
on
who
those
you really want to
limited
be?
beliefs.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll take, for example, I personally, and I'm not gonna, props to those who do this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't follow any celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
That's not my thing. I just
Mm-hmm.
don't. I've never have. But when you think about celebrities, entertainers, just people, wealthy people in the limelight, there's something about them
Mm-hmm.
that those that idolize them, like them, whatever, follow them, there's something about that talent, that person,
Mm-hmm.
that they want to emulate, they want to be like,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
They may not have the talent or have the courage to go and write a song or
Lord
go
knows I
and
want
try
to sing.
out,
Okay, I've been
right?
praying about it.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
I said, Lord knows I want to sing. I'm like tone deaf, so
Right,
it's a joke.
right. I love
Because,
music. I mean,
but when I was
again, but
younger,
I
I
don't
used
do
to
it.
pray, like, could that
I
be
don't
my
do it.
gift, God?
Right. But it's something in them that people gravitate. And it could
Yes.
be the confidence that they show.
Mm-hmm.
Like a Beyonce will get on stage and do her thing. And
Right.
people love that. People love people who exude confidence. And it's
Mm-hmm.
something gravitates them to that person or people. It's like, I want to be like them, but I'm not saying
It's
it.
that belief, like, but I could never do
But I
that,
could
or I
never
could
do that.
never.
So I'm just
You
going to like
can.
be
Mm-hmm.
in their shadow because, like I could never be that, but I could still, see what it could be like versus
Mm-hmm.
I see it, I'm going to go after it, let me study it. Because
Mm-hmm.
when you study, it's just like you take a test. When you study for it, you have more confidence that you're going to do well because you've practiced, you've studied.
Yeah.
So, but if you're not taking a step back to recognize, oh, I keep following, but I'm not doing, or I keep saying these things and I'm getting in my own way, because I like this other saying of, we're always trying to win the game that we're playing based on what we tell ourselves. So if we say, I can never do that,
mm-hmm.
and you never do it, you just won. Because that's what you told yourself you couldn't do, and therefore you let that follow through.
Yes.
But if you say, I can run that 5K, I'm going to do it, guess what you're doing? You're practicing and you're out there running it because you said you could do it. Right. So you've gotten rid of the limiting beliefs, and all you're thinking about is possibilities. Right. Like as coaches, our role is to get our clients to think about limitless possibilities versus unlimited. I can never, I'm too fat, I'm too this. Well, if you tell yourself that, then that's what you believe you are, then you will never do.
Yes, changing the narrative. Changing the narrative, yes. And every coach should have a coach. I can coach to the coach. But when it came to this book, 3 years. Wow. I went from 3 years of writing down, I'm a best-selling author, and never picking up a pen or typing or anything. Why? Because I was, at the same time, I'm like, okay, God, you gave me the vision for this book, but I'm not a writer. And I would say, I'm not a writer. I'm not a writer. I'm not a writer. I'm not a writer. Until he was like, look, could you just do what I told you to do? Like, don't ask me for anything else till you do what I told you to do. And it was written out of obedience, not because I thought I became a writer, not because I thought I was ready, strictly because God told me to do this and he beat me in the head about it. I got convicted and was like, I have to do it. And my coach was like, so why do you want to share your story and write? And I was like, because I just feel like I have, like, what's going to be your why? And I was like, because God told me to. It was no like deep, like, because I just want to know, because God said it. So I'm going to trust that I can do that. But how about I'm already working on the second one? Because now confidence, right? Now I'm like, oh, I can do the hard things. Like I got a whole month now. Like, okay, God, I see you.
Yeah,
Right?
you
Like,
got this. You
I can do this.
and
Through
so
God. I mean, to God be the glory. But you know what I mean? Like, I'm
you
just
can
like,
do this. You
I can
got
do
this.
the hard things. I can do
You,
those things that I say I can't. And I
right.
had to shift
But
that narrative, right?
you have to sit there. But I tell you, you've been a writer, you've been a motivational speaker all this time, as long as I know you, because every time you do, even every time you do a post,
Right,
you're
right.
writing.
But that's what my husband's like, you're writing. Like a blog, you're right. So I was like, yeah. It was getting out of my head and out of my way.
Right. You don't realize how much you've done until, I mean, that was part of my confidence. Was I always knew I wanted to write a book, but I said, and I never really liked, hi.
I'm sorry. I just want to tell her that's exactly what I'm going through. All right, let's go. Let's go. This is for you. Let's go.
Let's do it. But I mean, I never consider myself a writer, right? Same thing. Back in the day, I didn't think I could write. I hated English. I hate writing papers.
Right.
Yeah. But actually, when even through Instagram, as Instagram is, coming up with a quote, coming up with a little saying, that's all here.
Right, right.
And you just put it down and you let the world see it. So it's like, can you add about, 8,000 more words?
More words. Right, right.
But you don't realize you can do it until you're in the process. That is the key.
Yes.
You don't think you can do it until
start.
you start. Because when I was writing, I was like, whoa, I didn't think I could write that many pages.
Right.
But you don't know.
I was so concerned, like, I don't have any more to write. I want to run out. Like, I don't know what to, getting so in the way. And finally it was like, okay, right? Like, just move over. Right. All right, what am I supposed to write? And then it was to the point like, okay, maybe this is too long.
you realize like, oh, we're getting in the 300s now. Because you can't say more, especially when it's your story.
Yes.
But, yeah.
And then I did have to come with a like, whatever's in here is what's supposed to be in here. Because like, even when you hand it in, you're like, oh, I should have, So yes.
But that's we've been doing that for years. Even in school, we'd be like, oh, I should have said that. I would have probably got a better
in the middle of the night.
That in.
Yes.
Good is good enough.
Yes. There you go.
I posted that today.
Yes.
Or yesterday. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So we're coming up on time. I want to make sure whoever is on, get ready for this giveaway. I'm going to be giving away. You're going to actually, this is my copy. So you're going to actually, but I brought you a copy. So you're going to send Kenya your address. The winner will, just one winner. We'll send her your address and she will ship out the copy. Kenya Carr, Battling the Flames. And before we do that, I want everybody on to pick a number between 1 and 20. I'm going to pick the answer and stick it behind me. Whoever gets closest to on the way up. Okay. So there it is. Drop it in here. Pick a number between 1 and 20. And while I'm looking for the numbers to come up, I want Kenya to give me 3 things.
Oh, she always does this to me.
3 things that you want to, because we celebrate wins, right? So 3 of your biggest wins associated with confidence. When you're like, oh, we talked about the other side and that feeling like, man, I remember when, right? And then that was it. Like, then that was it. You couldn't tell me anything. 3 of your favorites. We got an 8, all right.
One was when I tried out to be a Ravens cheerleader. I thought I missed the tryouts. I was late to the tryouts. I got the time wrong. And I was having a pity party. And I put myself back up and I went and checked and I still had time. And I tried out. I made it past the first cut. I didn't get cut right away. And that built my confidence even more because I was like, damn it, I can do anything. I can do anything. This week, I think I could just say as early as this week, I've been doing the Peloton app. And I've been
Oh,
trying to
okay.
really do the running app because, I'll do running myself, but not really push
Mm-hmm.
myself really hard.
Mm-hmm.
And just doing these, I did a 20-minute hit run just yesterday, and I haven't done a hit run in a long time. And I still got it.
You knocked it out. Yes.
That just, every time I can keep up with a Peloton app and I don't quit, that builds my confidence even more. It's as simple as that.
Yes. I
Staying
love it.
constantly challenging myself to just push harder
Mm-hmm.
is building more confidence. It's one thing to sustain. It's
Yes.
another thing to keep building it so that you'll do
Yes.
more. And the third one, oh my God. I guess starting my practice, I mean, that's a big deal.
Okay. Yes.
It's
It
not
is.
something that's small peanuts. And it's a lot of marketing and sales, as you know. God,
Right.
start
Right.
on its own.
Well, kudos to you. I celebrate you.
Thank
And
you.
I see some numbers coming in. I'm going to count down from 5. Anybody else that wants to drop a number between 1 and 20 to enter the giveaway for Kenya's book. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I see an 8 and I see an 11. So Miss T Mia, I don't know if it's T Mia, but wait a minute. We got 2 more numbers and somebody actually got it. All right, well, here we go. It's actually ANUUGEN. It's backwards. That's a 12. That is the winner.
What is it? What is her handle or his handle?
It is ANUUGEN.
Mm-hmm.
8.
8. Okay.
Yes. And you are most welcome. I want you to go follow Life Chapters Coaching, Kenya, that's on here, and send her a DM with your address. Anthony. All right, Anthony, congratulations.
Yay, congratulations.
You'll get a
Anthony.
copy of this. Read it, gift it, whatever you want to do. Don't let it collect dust. Pass it on or read it yourself and get the goods. All right, Anthony? All right. So thank you, everyone, for sharing this space with us. If you are watching the replay, again, connect with Kenya. Check out her book. Check out her services. Everything she has going on in her space. We grow better together. That's why I love sharing and connecting everybody with everybody. So thank you for sharing this space with Kenya. Always a pleasure. Thank you.
You are awesome.
Yes, thank you so much for coming in, sharing, and just your smile, your energy, your tips, everything. I really appreciate it. Oh, you are yes. Okay, great. Yes,
I can't see the comments anymore. They stopped on my side.
Oh, he said appreciate it. Look forward to checking it out, Kenya. Congrats on the book.
Awesome.
And Felicia said congratulations to you, Anthony. All right. See, I love this. Okay. So thank you all. Stay well. Enjoy the holidays coming up. Eat good, but not too much. And even if you eat too much, it's okay. It's one day.
I got a blog on that too. If you go to my
oh yeah, you meal prep and all that. Yeah,
and I have a blog. If you go to I have 2 sites. I have my lifechapterscoaching.com site for coaching, and then I have my personal branding site, kenyacarr.com, and my blog from last Sunday. I gave some really good tips for the holidays. So
yes. Mm-hmm. And lastly, and you almost did it. You gave the sites. I was gonna say, tell them if you have anything coming up. Anything coming up that.
So planning for another book signing in next year in March, where I was last year and sold out in Atlanta. So I'll be back in Atlanta in March, and then I'm trying to get something more locally in my area in the DMV, but one of the bookstores.
Nice.
It's tough right now with COVID because not everybody is opening
I
up.
just booked do you do the Barnes and Nobles? Because I just booked 3 Barnes and Nobles.
Oh, really? So my coach is supposed to help me with that, but it sounds like I need to be calling you.
Yes. Yeah, I just booked 3. One, the first one's December. I'm sorry, yeah. The first one is December 5th, and then January 22nd and January 8th. So
that's good to know that they're they're comfortable with authors coming in now. So I will
Yeah,
definitely.
well,
I'll
PA
call
is
you.
now. New Jersey, when I moved to New Jersey, because they're next over, they're not doing in person yet. So it
So it
depends.
depends. Yeah, that's the
It
thing. It
depends.
depends.
So, all right, you guys, good people, listen, enjoyed the conversation. Oh, most welcome. She said I'm still gonna get the book. Excellent. So pick up
And make
these
sure you got
copies for
Jamie's book
yourself.
too.
Give to someone else. Look at that. Give
Me
to
both.
someone else. And yes. Oh, thank you. Yes, yes, yes. And I think yours is available, right? BarnesandNoble.com.
It's Barnes and Nobles and
Yep.
all on online retail,
Amazon.
Amazon,
The website.
on my website,
KenyaCarr.com.
KenyaCarr.com, my website, and then I can personally sign it for you.
Yes.
Anywhere else, you won't get a signed copy, but that's
correct.
the
Yes, same. MyPizzaHappy.com/order if you want an autographed copy, and you get the little pre-order package. KenyaCarr.com if you want the autographed copies. Who doesn't want the autographed copies, right? But if you're like I just want Amazon or Barnes and Noble, then you can certainly find it on their site as well.
Yeah,
so,
or if you want ebook, because it's on Amazon, and I don't know
yes,
if ebook, but if you want ebook on there too, yeah.
Yes, and okay, I got what are the names of the books? All right, we have Battling the Flames, Kenya Carr. You can see that. All right, and I will also put them in the comments of this. And then mine is My Piece of Happy. That's PEACE, Self-Love Journey to Happiness, Purpose, and Lifestyle Success. So thank you for joining me again, Kenya.
Absolutely.
Stay connected. Everybody stay well, smile often, laugh hard, love more, and live your life with purpose.
Awesome. Bye. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course.
All right. Bye.